What's up? This is Cinderella Stories with Ash and Sav. And Ash, we got breaking news this morning. We went through the rundown of the show. We had our little call and we got off the phone and Angel Reese got traded. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, they traded Angel Reese for Atlanta's 2027 and 2028 first round picks. So on Atlanta side, no players were traded, but now Angel gets to join the likes of Ryan Howard down in the ATL. Ashley, thoughts, feelings, concerns. What do you make of this?
The women were too stunned to speak. The women were too stunned to speak because listen, Chicago has a reputation and it's not a good one. Okay. The Chicago Sky's reputation is in the dirt. People do not think highly of the way that they treat their players, the way that they run their programs, the firing and hiring of their coaching staff. And Angel Reese and that group butted heads pretty much from the moment that she arrived to the point where she was suspended for conduct detrimental to her team last year. So now they're saying, listen, hit the road, girl. It's not working out. We're going to cut our losses and free Angel until it's backwards because Angel is now free and she is set to flourish in Atlanta, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. When I was like, oh no, ATL, they ain't ready for Angel, but they actually
Also
like in the
ACL.
best, yeah,
Also ACL.
in the
Yeah.
best way possible. And I know she's pumped because she wasted no time. She posted it all over her socials. Like she said, the dream, like it was like an angel's dream, is what she
Yeah, she's
said.
in cahoots with Taylor Rooks. They're in cahoots. Taylor's like, ready, send. Angel's like, 3, 2, 1, retweet, three,
Pop.
two, one, post
Hmm.
immediately. Yeah, yeah.
The whole
So
jersey, the whole fit, everything she already had like on her socials on Instagram.
yeah, I think, okay, so obviously this is huge news. Angel Reese is one of the biggest faces of the league. She's a polarizing character, but to her credit, after her me-bound season in year one, she got better in almost every statistical category. Okay,
Yes.
she's a walking double-double. She's leading the league in rebounds. She's improved her assists, her blocks, her steals numbers. And now she's theoretically going to a place where it's going to be an environment that's going to allow her to thrive and to develop and grow. So she's good to go. She's blessed. Now, when it comes to Chicago, there were questions about even the way that they were handling the expansion draft. And we're going to get
Hmm.
into that a little bit with Portland and Toronto because you were at the Toronto one. But Toronto and Portland both made deals with Chicago for their 21st and 2026 picks to not select anybody from their unprotected players list. Chicago said, hey guys, we got like 4 wins last year. We want to run it back. It's like everyone was looking like, why would you, like, who are you
Who are you
protecting?
protecting?
No, who are you protecting? Because I don't understand. Like, tell us a name. It was like like a what's it called? An interrogation.
Yeah.
Like, give us a name. Why are you protecting like whoever excuse my
Hmm.
language? That's already one today. Sorry, Evan, our editor. He's doing a swear count to hold me accountable, giving Marina Maybre energy. But that was crazy to me too, though. Right?
Yes.
Like you're in a position where you get to kind of alleviate some of your dead weight, maybe mix it up a little bit, some of the personnel so you keep everybody,
Yeah.
and it's not like they're trade bait. And then,
Yeah.
sorry, just one further thing. It's like you don't in this Angel Reese trade, you banking on potential.
Yeah. Basically, to what I'm gathering from Chicago, they're saying that they would rather pay with draft capital than lose a player for nothing in an expansion draft. So I could kind of see their logic there, although I'm like, once again, we're like, but who?
But like
They
for a chalupa,
I guess like they're thinking because they've had obviously like draft picks, like several draft picks, and I
yeah,
think they're looking at their assets. And this is me playing more devil's advocate. Okay, I don't
right. You're
necessarily
not
agree
saying
with
you
this.
agree. You're like, I don't
No,
condone this type of behavior.
but let me just
But I'm just
disclaimer.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm saying they're trying to like they think that they're playing chess here. Um, and so the Sky they kept the number 5 overall pick for
Yeah.
this draft, right? But what they moved, of course, was the 17th pick for the 21st. That was just a swap with Portland.
Yeah.
And they just gave away the 26th to Toronto and be like, do not
Yeah.
touch our players. And
No
so
problem. I didn't
it
want your man anyway.
literally,
First of
so
all.
essentially, they literally, you're rusty, crusty, dusty. They have a number 5 pick 21, and 32 in this year's draft.
Yeah,
And then they just added a first round
a
draft in
first round.
27 and 28. So they're just stacking draft capital basically. And like, I get it, like in some senses, like it kind of makes your cash flow easier if you retain your players instead of like giving them for nothing. But that's
Yeah,
also like presuming that someone's gonna pick your players. And let me tell you, like they were not on any projection list that I saw leading up to expansion draft.
no one cared.
Everyone was gunning for Minnesota. Everyone's
No one
like, "Oh,
cared.
Minnesota looking nice," even like
With
outside of
all,
Bridget Carlton. But we'll get there. But like, it's just more like the fact that like Chicago, and now they made this big move. So I am wondering, like, what's the big overall plan here, Chicago? What's the
I
goal?
think they were just, yeah, I think they're just trying to cut their losses. They're just like, it's not working. And the more that we force it, like, we're ruining the back of the shoe. The shoehorn's not working. The foot is too big. Like,
I
we got to
yeah,
save the shoe.
I do think this. They also said roster balance was one of it as well. Now, yeah, both teams are like, well, we did it for roster balance. I was thinking positionally, I guess like Chicago's kind of like forward heavy. Atlanta's more potentially more guard heavy, but even then, I'm like, I think it
Yeah, but
has
they
to
have
do,
Ryan, they have Brittany, they're adding
yeah,
Angel. Like Cardoso is the real winner here. She's going to get a lot of
100%.
extra run
She,
and time and opportunity. So that's basically what they're saying, I guess, in Chicago is like,
yeah,
we don't want to deal with Angel anymore. We want Kamilla to take center stage.
yes,
But like, again, sorry, to your devil's advocate point, like, I can't imagine the offers are piling in for Haley Van Lith with all due respect. With all due respect. And I
yeah.
can't believe the return for something like that is going to be a first round pick in the WNBA draft or a higher first round pick in the WNBA draft this year. But in Chicago's defense, the 2027 draft is about to be maybe one of the best drafts in WNBA history. So it doesn't hurt to add another person, another player and a pick to that because you have Juju, you have Madison Booker, you have Hannah Hidalgo, you have Audie Crooks. Like
Yeah,
the 2027 draft is going to be the one where
noise.
tongues are wagging.
Well,
So
this year's like the fact that they had the fifth pick for this year, I'm banking
6. Oh, Chicago.
fifth.
Chicago. I thought
Yeah,
you said
yeah.
we. I was like, we're allowed to be in the mix now.
I know. But the
I
fact
know.
that Chicago has the fifth pick,
Yeah.
and this is such a strong draft class in and of itself, and the fact that they'll probably get a high pick, like a first round pick, as I said, for next year's, and next year's also looking nice. Like the next two classes being this year, next year, and arguably the following one as well, are pretty
Mm-hmm.
strong. And we all know in sports that's never guaranteed that you're gonna get strong draft class
Draft.
years. Yeah,
Yeah.
no matter what the league is. And so, yeah, I think what if I'm Chicago, I'm banking that I'm gonna draft my star. Like outside of Cardoza, like I think that they think that they're
Yeah.
gonna draft a star.
And they very well may, but the problem is if the apple's rotten to the core, it doesn't matter what else is in the fruit salad, babe. It really doesn't matter because if what is that? Oh my God. Okay. The crystals is crazy.
This is Chicago right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Chicago
They're
right
like,
now.
I charged my opalite the other day, and I'm hoping that I just, yeah, it's rotten to the core there. Like Rebecca Allen was just on the Six Woman Basketball podcast, and she was asked about different things. She did rapid fire, and they said Chicago Sky, and she said a little miserable. There were times when they were sharing
Mm.
change rooms with the general public.
Oh, well, I remember,
So,
yeah, you mentioned it, but
yeah.
like when you know it's bad when you're star. I mean, Angel Reese is who she is. She's gonna say with her whole chest, she's not afraid to like be that person, although she got suspended, as you mentioned. But it's a really bad look when you're coming out, and usually, and pause, that can be cut weird. Coming out publicly to talk about how bad your team is, because like
Yeah.
usually you keep that stuff internal, and the moment that you feel the need to go public is probably when you feel like you have no options left, and like there's obviously you would hope that you would have explored the options inside internally before externally, but sometimes I feel like that's what some players feel like they have to do to be heard.
But but also, did she lie? No.
No,
No. She
no.
said you're gonna get Courtney, you're gonna get Courtney, Kia, and Ariel, and it's gonna change our season. Like we are not going to have long-term success recycling older players.
Yeah,
And then it was very disrespectful to Vandersloot in particular, because I think she like specifically went in on her, if I can remember the Chicago Tribune article specifically. So like, again, it was a bad look, but also did she lie? And these new generation of players, they don't play by the same rules. They don't. The expectation is completely different. They feel like they have full carte blanche to say whatever they want, whatever they feel, whenever they want. And for better or for worse, depending on which side of the coin that you're on. But nonetheless, Angel Reese, she's gone. She's going to the A.
She's going to love it there. Oh,
yeah, she's going to have time.
The content that will come out with Angel and being in Atlanta.
Yeah. So that's the tea, and things are just heating up because, as we mentioned before, 80% of the league are free agents. There's real money at stake now. So yeah, we'll be watching. As Wendy Williams said, we'll be watching.
We are always watching. Okay. Speaking of watching, so you had the chance to watch the game yesterday. I was on a broadcast call, my first ever debut as an analyst, actually.
Shout out.
Thank you. For our audience's context, Canada has this crazy high school all-star game. It's basically our version of the All-American, the McDonald's All-American. And so in the past, we've had several different sponsors. So the sponsors have kind of changed, but there's been huge names like Jamal Murray, even Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
Toby Fournier.
And on the women's side, I know, Toby Fournier, Aaliyah Edwards, like a lot of the big players that are top of their league, like playing pro now, came through this game. And so once again, so that I had the opportunity to call it, which means that I didn't have the opportunity to watch the Women's March Madness finals, which was crazy because I was asking Ash this morning, like, okay, so I was keeping track of the score, but like, UCLA, which is funny, Ash. Okay, I just find it funny, Ash, because it's almost like somebody the other day was like, Texas girls versus California girls. Like, do you really take a team seriously when they're on the beach after practice versus Texas is in the dust?
I was certainly giving hater, and I'll take the L. It is what it is. I said what I said. However, I would like to have a caveat as no one knew that first team All-American Madison Booker was going to go 3 for 23.
Yeah.
She averaged like 18 points a game, and she goes 3 for 23. Her first bucket, you're like, okay, we're boogieing. Then she proceeds to miss buckets for the next 33 minutes, and they were still within striking distance. So,
Yikes.
Okay. Take the L, sign in the Final Four. Yeah. Loser. Yeah, for sure. I'll carry that. However, it was an anomaly of a game for one of the players who's projected to have an incredible professional career. With that being said, UCLA was not on 1. They were on 2 this entire weekend because they beat Texas, and then they went in and RIP to your girls, the Gamecocks, for the second year in a row, got lambasted, shellacked, dusted, belted, however you want to put it, in the finals by UCLA, who won their first national title in program history. So whatever. Shout out to UCLA, I guess.
Shout out to UCLA. I mean, yeah, you say hating, but at the same time, you have been watching UCLA a fair bit this tournament. Like, we kind of like took sides of brackets. It almost felt like naturally, and you really focused on like the UCLA's, the Texas, and I was more UConn. Well, I think we're both UConn, and then also South Carolina. I was going in on South Carolina and Michigan.
Yeah.
But then
you were spot on for the Final Four. Just the finals, they didn't have the gas.
No, and I wouldn't have expected them to win, to be honest. Like South Carolina, like in terms of the finals, I was like, remember, okay, I wasn't confidently saying UConn is gonna win in the past South Carolina last week. I was like, I'm gonna give them the edge because they execute better, but it's gonna be a slugfest. But
you still were on South Carolina though.
Yeah, low key. I just didn't want to
above and beyond,
which surprised me. I won't lie. Like I was. Yeah, and like in terms of like I thought that they would like squeak it out, and they ended up like showing UConn the business, and then
they showed them up. Like, it was embarrassing. Yeah,
and then also, but we know what's more embarrassing, Ashley, and I'll let you get into this one. Go off, Queen. Let's set it up for us. Go for it.
Oh, for Gina. Okay. So let's wrap up UCLA's championship by saying congratulations, right? They did what they needed to do. Their defense was stellar. They held the Gamecocks to shooting 26%, I think, in the first half. They built a lead of 22 points. They did the damn thing. Cool. Prior to that, UConn, South Carolina, everyone's seen it by now. At the end of the game, UConn was going to lose. Geno went over to Dawn Staley, who tried to shake his hand, and he got in her face and made a comment about, oh, you didn't shake my hand before the game, when there was literally footage of them shaking hands before the game. So then it was like, oh, he waited too long before the ceremonial handshake, yappa, yappa, yappa. I will beat Geno's get that to me on a shirt. I will beat Geno's because Dawn Staley was pissed. He came up to her, he got in her face, he started yelling at her. They're both from Philly. They both move a little different, but she was not having it. She's like, why are you coming to me trying to cause a ruckus, being loud and wrong and a sore loser and looking senile? For what? Like, you saw the aftermath too. It's like, Geno Auriemma is somebody who's outspoken, and then they ask him about that moment with Dawn. All of a sudden, you got nothing to say. So you got a speech impediment now, babe?
Say Dawn's name. Say her name. And getting to the apology in just a second, like the actual apology, quote. But to wind it back even a little bit, because when I was watching that South Carolina UConn game very like intently, and I was like, because I'm like, how the Gamecocks going to do? I'm like, oh shoot. I remember seeing Sarah Strong rip her jersey, bro. She ripped her jersey, and Geno thought that it got ripped by South Carolina because it was a physical game and the fouls were more in South Carolina's favor. So it seemed, but also they're a physical team. They know how to draw contact. And then on top of that, I remember watching I believe it was the halftime interview with Geno, or maybe coming back from a quarter or a break. And Geno was losing it on the refs that game. Like, he was on one. Like, I've never seen Geno behave the way leading up to the Dawn Staley moment. So like, he was crashing out that entire game. Fully. So I think, to be honest, and if we were to like really sit here and put like our, like, here's some tinfoil hats on. I think that it also was a runoff of emotions from him venting about the NCAA changing the schedule, the shooting's bad. Like, it almost, like, not saying that those two are related, but the energy carried over. And now it's almost like, I want to almost feel or say that it was, I don't want to say he was making excuses. There were legit problems.
You don't want to say that?
No, well, no, in terms of the shooting schedule, the this, the that, leading up into the game, because it affected everybody. It was the right voice to call it out. But it was definitely that energy got carried over, almost like that same energy of, I pointed out all these facts over here that some would call excuses, but they are factual. And now it's running off over here. And now I'm like looking at the refs, and the refs aren't calling the fouls for my girls. And look, my girl got ripped in the jersey. Meanwhile, she ripped it herself. And it was ridiculous. So I think that his energy was just like, he was on one. And I'm like, this is where you get, like, and you said that he's senile. I was like, yeah, how's your mental health doing, Geno?
No,
like, for real. Like, you've been in the game for a long time. And honestly, like
I do not think that it was a run on. I think that he thought his girls had that in the bag. I think he thought UConn had it in the bag. You know, they always say, it's an old sports analogy. You get punched in the mouth. How are you going to respond? Well, he knocked out, and he was zoo, stars and birds, and he didn't know what to make of it. That's really, truly what I believe, because one of the things that I'm very tired of is having these coaches that are seen as ingenues and player whisperers, and oh my God, they think the game so much, they're geniuses, and having that apply and excuse their behavior. So after Geno crashes out on Dawn, is disrespectful and won't address it, saying they have nothing in common, they have no relationship, in the press conference, even though they would coach Team USA together, even though they literally are both head coaches in women's basketball, like, that enough is enough to have in common. Anyway, whatever. So everyone's like, Holly carried water for him, Diana Taurasi carried water for him, and Sue Bird carried water for him, saying that he did that because he was trying to take away attention from the loss of UConn. No. I'm tired of big braining this. I'm tired of giving people so much credit because they're good at X's and O's. It means they're thinking 4 steps ahead of anybody else, when common sense fully exists. because you could have made a smokescreen look over here and not done it at the expense of Dawn. And so
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. And I'm not buying it. Nope.
Let
No, no,
me
no.
Me neither. Let me read the apology that just came out. What was this? A
It was
day
like 2 days
ago?
ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As I'm seeing this on Instagram right now, reading it off of their page, it says 1 day ago, statement from head coach Geno Auriemma for our listeners that are driving right now. There's no excuse for how I handled the end of game versus South Carolina. It's unlike what I do and what our standard here is at Connecticut. I want to apologize to the staff and the team at South Carolina. It was uncalled for in how I reacted. The story should be how well
Yep.
South Carolina played, and I don't want my actions to detract from that. I've had a great relationship with their staff, and I sincerely want to apologize to them. Geno Auriemma. Now, we both mentioned this earlier because he never addressed Dawn Staley personally in the press conference, and here he is again, not addressing her personally in his IG statement, which come on now, be so for real. You said what you said. The cameras were on. You said it on camera. Now apologize, I think, on camera. Like that's how I feel like
Yeah.
it should be, not just a written statement by your PR team. For real. Like be more genuine. Did he call Dawn? We don't know.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
There was a comment that he reached out to her independently. So he did call Dawn on the ones. But to your point, I do still think that naming her name publicly is warranted in the situation because he didn't go at all the coaching staff. He went at
No.
Dawn, and everyone else
Exactly.
had to hold them both back from each other.
Exact. And also just like Ashley, if I may, on another level, it really like it gets to me. And I saw a lot of comments going this direction too. And I know that, this is where I say privilege shows up
Mm-hmm.
because if the roles were reversed and Dawn
The
was
tropes.
attacking
Oh.
Gino, the amount of harmful tropes that would have been put out there by the depths of the internet, by the public society of being an angry black woman coming for an older white
Sore
man.
loser,
She'd
a
be a sore
bum, no
loser, a
respect.
poor role model, and how
Mm-hmm.
dare she coach young black women with that type of attitude? Like, that would be the narrative as a black woman that she is. Instead, she kept it classy and she said, look at the receipts, bro. And when he came for her, as you said, everyone, because of privilege, is protecting him,
Yeah,
whether they
yeah.
realize it or not. Because
Because
there
like
is
even
no tropes about being a mad, an angry old white man. There's no tropes
old
about
man,
that.
yeah, it's like old man yells at cloud, and it's like, oh, leave him alone. He doesn't
Oh,
know what's
he's
going
just,
on or whatever.
oh, Uncle Gino, that's just crazy.
Yeah, but you
No.
can't have both things at once. You can't be a mastermind and one of the best coaches to ever do it, and the player whisperer, and then also be like, oh, poor Gino doesn't know what's going on. The thing that pissed me off the most, honestly, was like Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe. They were doing a live podcast. They were talking about it, and I hate when people say something's wrong, but then preface it, Sav, by saying obviously, because I think it kind of minimizes the damage. She's like, obviously he shouldn't have said that. Obviously his behavior was da 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 da,
Yeah.
but he ray tay 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 tay. And it's like, okay, is it obvious? Like, yeah, it sounds different when you're like, he should not have done that. That was inappropriate. We are a program of excellence at UConn and we don't behave that way. But instead, it's like,
Yes.
yeah, obviously he shouldn't have done that. Obviously, da da da. And I think that it's nitpicking for sure.
Mm,
It's nitpicking for sure. But again, it's like all these women are carrying water for Gino because of their personal relationships. When really and truly, when you actually fuck with somebody, you hold them accountable.
mm-hmm.
That's real
Mm-hmm.
friendship. That's a real relationship.
Yeah.
I'm
I
so
wish that,
sorry.
Sue Bird should have been like, I called him up. I said, Gino, that's not cool. Or
Yeah,
whatever, like
bro, what are
maybe,
you
or
doing?
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like she should have worn a Dawn Staley shirt on the stage that day. And T,
She would never.
people are canceling together because of it. Like not actually, but like, and I think
Yeah.
cancel is kind of like a crazy word. But they posted that fight, and then it was like something along the lines of like, "What's going on here? Wrong answers only." And people were pissed at it because of your theory too, that if it
Mm-hmm.
was reversed, it wouldn't be all fun and games, it wouldn't be a joke. And so for them to be like, oh, what's going on here, wrong answers only, when it's like right answers only, it's a man accosting a woman because he's a sore loser and didn't get a handshake when he wanted it. I'm sorry, we're here for the final four, like other going on, babe. You've been here several times, you know that things can come up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Anyways,
I can't remember I don't ever remember a bad moment like this in Geno's career. So
Pat Summitt? No,
was
he's
it a
been
Pat?
infamous. Okay, so let
No,
me bring you
wait.
on.
Put the Pat Summitt lore
So
on.
Pat Summitt wrote a book and she made several remarks about Geno making her feel uncomfortable, being rude to her, and being unprofessional towards her. There's one story in particular where they're at the same restaurant. He keeps screaming her name across the restaurant, making her uncomfortable to the point where she left.
Oh, weird.
Yes,
Oh,
where like he wouldn't, and that's the whole tea between him leaving Candace Parker off the Team USA roster, is because theoretically, well, Candace Parker is obviously the GOAT. Why are you not on Team USA when Geno's the head coach? Okay, is it because of the Pat Summitt connection? That's what Candace thinks, because she's a vole, a lady vole. So
whoa.
yeah, there
Okay.
actually is a bit of a history
Where
of
there's
Geno.
smoke.
That's what I'm saying. And so to carry water over something like this is interesting when there is previous history of him being a little bit weird to women coaches who are up here ascending in their
Yeah.
own hierarchy and power rankings.
Yeah. And shout out to Dawn for handling it literally the best I think anyone could have handled it
Yeah.
in that situation.
Yeah.
Because if that was me, oh, nope.
I will beat Geno.
Absolutely not. All
Come here.
right.
Come here, little guy.
Get
I
here.
will
He's like,
beat
it's like the guy
little
from Up
headlock.
grabbing him.
Yeah, like I will beat your
Running.
that was so funny. She says it 3 times. I loved it so much. Oh my god. Anyway,
She's funny.
shout out to all the women's teams in the tournament. They put on. You guys got to hit your threes though, because yeah. But we move.
We move. Okay, let's get into expansion draft.
Yeah.
We touched on it a little bit because it had to do with Chicago's logic of trading Angel Reese, but we should get into the Toronto Tempo and Portland side of the expansion draft. It was really cool,
Yeah.
Ash.
Let me set you up. Can I set you up for this one? Because you've
Okay.
been a busybody all week, first of all. Stay your ass at home. You got work to do. We got food at home.
Enjoy your rent.
We have food at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you were able to make the expansion draft event held by the Tempo where they streamed the
Mhm.
draft, and then they had Monica Wright Rogers and another member of the organization present for questions and comments after the draft was complete. So set us up because you were up in the sky. You were in the penthouse.
Yeah, it was like the 68th floor. It was like somewhere right downtown Bay Street. Like the views were nice and like there's food and charcuteries and everything. And like they have a little
They ain't got no roaches in here or nothing.
ain't no roaches, and they have a little open bar section in the back too. Oh yeah, girl.
Did you drink?
Absolutely.
What did you drink?
Absolutely. Afterwards.
What did you have?
I had they poured me a healthy glass of wine, like a big
Red or
old
white?
white. Yeah, I want to say it was Chardonnay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
How heavy? A gentleman's pour?
A big old gentleman's pour.
Keg
I was
size?
like, I didn't ask. I just said, "Can I go out with someone?" And the event was ending, so he was like, "Sure." Like, dumped the bottle in my cup, and I was like,
just waiting.
"Girl,
Like,
is a heavyweight."
Say
but
when?
then,
Well, a heavyweight.
Listen, I'm a heavyweight.
It's not slander, but I would say more of a middleweight. I would say more of a
middleweight.
Girl. Respectfully, yeah.
Respectfully middleweight.
I see what I need to see.
No.
Yes.
No. Okay. When I'm at events, I could be the life of the party sometimes. Okay.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Speaking of life of the party,
anyway,
sidebar, dropping a rap track casually for your 40th.
Oh my god.
Middleweight over that's a lightweight.
It's under embargo. The record label is holding us the release. We have the cover art.
For those who don't know, Ashley for her birthday brought her and her closest friends and went to the studio and recorded a track, which I'm like, is this a diss track? A Geno diss track?
We should have. We thought about that. We're like, I had them do like bars about me, and then I was like, I should have done like disses about them, like airing of grievances. But no. It was really fun. I will actually send it to you. You can listen to it. It's funny. Like the girls understood the assignment. They did their homework. It was really good. But anyway, Back to your double pour. So after the event, you're in the back Chugging.
Yes, we're chugging
A
it in the back.
Chardonnay.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Chelsea. She was with me. I wasn't gonna drink alone. That's
Chelsea
crazy.
lightweight. Chelsea's
Yeah,
not a lightweight though.
she's not light. No, she's not
So,
light. Yeah, but like so
but yeah,
we're
like,
peaking.
okay, am I correct to say, and I don't mean to be disrespectful,
No,
it's cool that there's an event. Could the expansion draft have been an email?
1000%. It could have been an email. And I mean
Okay.
holistically, like
Yeah.
the production itself. What I thought we are going to go like pick for pick, round for round. Like I thought we are going to be like back forth, back forth. It's like, and the official selection for the Toronto Tempo is like enter it's some music, and then name. And we were there. It could have been on for like 30 minutes. Instead, it was like, okay, so here's the first pick for Portland. They took Bridget Carleton, the Canadian, rude.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, now here's the first pick for the Tempo. I was like, okay, they're pretty casual about this, but maybe they're gonna go start going into momentum here. And then it was just like, okay, now here's the picks for both teams. Like put it
Yeah.
up on
Here's everything
screen.
else.
Malika
Yeah.
Andrews like saying like, yeah, just here you are. Here he is. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
They would, I feel like, am I wrong to say that I don't think they would do that for an NBA team? I feel like they would make a production out of it, no?
Yes, I'm aligned. I don't think that that's out of the realm of possibility at all. I think that maybe, and I'll give the Tempo credit here where it's due. I think that maybe as a result of understanding how it was going to go down on the ESPN side of things, they're like, okay, we're going to have everyone in a room together. We're going to make it nice. We're going to have appetizers. We are going to make it as much of an event as we can because we're not in control of the way it's rolling out from the league side.
Yeah. And I did like so the Tempo like oh 100%. They did an amazing job with like hosting everybody and like making it
Had I
like
known it was open bar, I would have pushed my travel for work.
you had to go traveling that day. But
Like,
yeah.
maybe I won't drive. Maybe I'll take the train.
And it was really cool because like, the Tempo staff, I will say in the front office, like I have personally found when you go to these events, like they're really chill, like they're really cool to like
Yeah.
stick around and talk to you as well.
Yeah, there's a good
Like,
access.
great access. And for media, like this is a dream, like we know
Yeah.
what it's like to work in the NBA and it's very restricted. So like,
Yeah.
but this is they're very like open and willing to kind of like whether you could use it or not, but give additional context sometimes too, which
Yeah.
is super
Yeah.
helpful as a reporter, as a media person, like absolutely. So that's kind of
Love
the
it.
vibes. It was very like community kind of and fun. Yeah.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
So the one standout name, I think, on both sides of the coin, obviously Bridget Carleton going first overall to the Portland Fire is awesome that it's a Canadian player. So it's almost like you get the double dipping. It's like you get the Canadian conversation in Portland and then the Tempo are a Canadian team. So you get that conversation here as well locally. But it's Marina Maybre.
Yeah.
Is the biggest name out of everything. So we talked about it last week. Each team's only allowed to get one unrestricted free agent.
Yes.
Portland chose Bridget. We chose Marina. And she is the biggest name on that draft board.
Huge.
Honestly. There's a lot of, I want to say, perceived baggage that comes with her. And she's a really interesting character that I think a lot of W fans in Toronto are going to be excited about because her backstory is that she's known as the Crashout Queen. Okay.
So tell me why, because I've been hearing this reference several times and I know that there's so much different lores in the WNBA, but I've been hearing that she's a Crashout Queen and I haven't had a chance to like look up her lore. So please run me through it.
So Marina Maybre is more known for her technical fouls than her technical elements of her game, even though she does have the ability to score at different levels. She's a 2019 draft pick. And really and truly, I think from like the casual fan standpoint, when Caitlin Clark was in her rookie year, there was a big scuffle where Caitlin went down, and it's because Marina came out of nowhere and just bodied her at the top of the 3-point line. Connecticut was playing Indiana, and it was a scuffle. And it was in the heat of Caitlin's not going to come into our league and take over because we're big women and she's a girl. And then that felt like one of those I'm sending a message from the vets situation. So Marina does things like that where you're like, girl, like, why are you doing the most? So she had another incident in Unrivaled this year. Courtney Williams defended her going to the rack and she like turned around and she pushed her and she's like, I'm going to F you up. And she like came for her. So as a result, to try and hold herself a little bit accountable, she introduced the Crashout jar. And so there was, and it honestly, I think it was in earnest. She did a YouTube video and she's like, okay, she's like, I have done some reflecting. I don't really love that this is the narrative surrounding me. It's all about me just like having competitiveness that's overflowing, not being able to channel it positively. So if I swear, it's going to be $1. If I get a tech, it's like $60. If I slander someone and like talk a little shit, it's going to be like $20, whatever. And
Uh-huh.
so things kept happening, and they're like on the broadcast, they're like, oh, it's going to be something for the Crashout jar. It was like a full-fledged bit. So I think that she had a realization where the Crashout jar wasn't necessarily like positive for her and her mental health, because she's like, this is like becoming kind of a little vulnerable. But she's in a place now where she said, hold on, I have the quote somewhere. She said, okay, I have seriously been trying to stop. I'm doing breathing before the game. I'm praying into my water. Okay.
Okay.
So she went from curse words were $1, a scuffle could be as much as 40, and like an insult would cost her $5. That's the actual numbers. To taking deep breaths, doing breath work, and praying into her water bottle because she wants to turn a page. And she dropped 47 at Xfinity during the Unrivaled
I
Philadelphia tour.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, Toronto, that's your girl. She dropped 47 on the road in Philadelphia for Unrivaled. And if anyone messes with anyone on your team, you know she's coming over the top.
How many points? You said 40.
47.
Ah, 47,
Yeah.
almost a 50
I was
piece.
just at a league high. I think a league
Elite. That's
record. Yeah.
insane. No, I love that because fun fact about Xfinity Center with that particular like Unraveled games, there's actually two games that played that day. Um, that was the most attended regular season women's basketball game ever.
Yeah.
That game. It sold out over 21,000 seats, and the previous record at that specific arena was held by Michael Jordan in the like
Right.
the late 80s. Yeah,
Yeah.
against Philly. So that goes to show you just like how phenomenal, I guess, like the growth of women's basketball is, and just like yeah, it's pretty insane. Also,
Unrivaled is going to do a tour. They're going to be like Savannah Bananas, but actually professionals. Oh Lord, here we go. It's always the person on Zoom with a pet who's like, "Oh, guess who's here?" And it's like the person
yeah.
you lured over with a treat, babe, is who's
I
here.
didn't. He was rubbing against my legs. My cat came, guys.
He heard me being a hater. He's like, "Fuck." He's like, "I'm off this. This girl doesn't appreciate my orange coat, my fur, my
See,
opulence."
I let him go and now he's back on my like my on my legs again, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
anyways,
Wait, who's that?
Kovu, that's my son.
I thought your kid's name was Kobe.
No, 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 Kovu, like from K. Do you know where that's from? It's a
No, Russia.
deep cut, deep cut. Question, wait, wait, question to the
Saku
youth.
Koivu. Is he a hockey player?
No, no,
Oh
definitely
well,
not.
there is
No,
one.
absolutely not. Haley, do you know where this is from? Or Haley's on the line, guys.
I don't, but I'm like crying laughing. You said Russia? I'm dying.
I don't know. You know how sometimes there's like animals that they're like strays everywhere. Like we have all these cats from Turkey that need homes, or we have all these dogs from the
Uh-huh.
West Indies that need homes. Like I was like, maybe it's a Russian rescue. I don't know.
A pot cake? No.
I don't know.
That's what they call them when they need rescuing from like the Caribbean, a pot cake.
A pot
Um,
cake.
yeah, the dogs. One of my friends has a pot cake, but
I have
no,
thoughts about those dogs, but it's fine. We'll save that for another day.
that's
It's not
another episode.
SPCA friendly.
Well, okay. Well, no, my I named my cat after the main character of The Lion King 2 because I didn't want to name him Simba because it was too basic. So I wanted to name
Right.
him
So you
something
chose a name
else.
no one would ever know because no one watched that movie.
Well, if you know, you know. And
Babe,
that
no one
movie
knows.
was low key good. Okay,
No
I
one
will
knows.
die on this hill. The Lion King 2 slept on. Slept
Right.
on. It was giving Romeo and Juliet. I'm not even joking. Like the
First of all,
main
Romeo and
character was
Juliet is not a love story. She was 13.
okay, but like without the pedophilia and like also
Romeo's on the Epstein list. Redacted.
No, it's so good. Kofu was like
No.
his aura for a cartoon character was crazy.
Uh,
I don't like the Disney animators, bro,
they were on shrooms.
they were
Haley, have
on
you
something.
seen two? Have you seen?
No, I have not.
No, because you have taste. Yeah, good for you.
No,
Yeah.
no. Like
Keep
trust
it
me,
up, Haley. We're proud of you.
post this clip and I guarantee you people are like I love The Lion King 2. It's like a cult classic. That's what it is. The Lion King 2 was a cult classic and I named my cat after it. Yeah, that's what it
Okay.
is. It is.
Cute.
A cartoon cult classic.
Why was it not Simba in number two? Who's Kovu?
So Simba is
His
like
uncle?
the leader, kind of indirectly his uncle. It's like a second remove type of thing because he's actually
Mm-hmm.
Scar. Kovu's uncle in Lion King 2 is Scar.
So he's like their third brother's son. He's like Mufasa and Scar's brother's son.
Something like that. Yeah,
Yo, justice for
Mufasa's.
Scar.
Yeah, justice for Scar. That's why Kovu kind of goes hard because
No,
Kovu actually reunites both of the nations together from
you
like
should. Oh, he's
the
Gandhi. He's
Shadowlands,
actually
to the
Gandhi.
Pride Lands. It's sick. It's giving interracial love. That's all
You
I
should
gotta
have named
say.
him Scar.
Nah,
You could change it.
he doesn't have no. He knows
Okay,
his name.
second poll.
And the crazy part,
Scar.
he's sitting right beside me as we had this entire conversation
What is
about
he
him.
thinking when he hears Scar?
He
Like,
he
I think,
literally looked up at me like,
or he
absolutely
went, or
not.
it was like, well,
He's
well.
like, I just know you're talking about me.
I just know you think Beyonce's a good actress. That's what this is giving.
Absolutely not. Hey, some lanes are not meant to be crossed. It's okay. You already capped out. You maxed points, HP'd
Yeah.
on singing. Stay there.
Shout out to the Russian cats, man. Okay.
Okay. Well, on that note.
On that note, okay, any follow-ups, any final words on the melee of things that we discussed? Angel, Geno, Dawn, expansion.
It's getting wild out here, and the WNBA season hasn't even begun. And I'm so
Right.
excited for the fact that we will have a 2026 season in the first place. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, justice for Dawn in terms of like she needs a real apology with her name written down in it, preferably on video, not through a PR statement.
Geno,
And
gun to his head. I apologize to
literally,
Dawn Staley.
yeah, hey, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think the Toronto Temple, they did a really great job drafting overall. They went, actually, a lot of their first round picks were around the age of 29. So they went experience over like youth. I think they're going to get their youth from the draft. And they
Yeah.
also went with a European experience. Not saying they're all European, like born and raised, but
They're playing.
they've played in the highest level of Europe ball, which that is very much team ball, systematic, very disciplined, versus like US is typically give me the ball, ISO, me bounds,
A
like
little bit flashier.
a
Yeah,
little
yeah, yeah.
flashy. Yeah. So I think they went for it's a bit of a culture creator. I noticed that. But that said, and I think we both spoke about this on the phone call before, that I think that like the team's gonna change so dramatically by the
Yeah.
time tip off happens.
Yeah.
This is
TBD
just
who even shows up
exactly
or
the
who
only
even they want to show up.
exactly. And then also shout out to their first pick, Julie Allemand. I believe it's like if you don't think you pronounce the last D in her last name. She's
Allemand?
Belgian. Allemand.
Ooh.
She's yeah, Belgian. Did you know when I was in Belgium, they speak French and Dutch, but both. Anyways,
Honestly, the one thing I think we picked up on, honestly, is not focusing more on languages. I feel like it's a huge misstep. Like,
what
do
for
you know how many
us?
doors open for you if you speak several languages? Yeah.
Greek, a little bit legal.
Oh no, you know how to say yes, I'll go to dinner with you in Greece. In Greek, that's it.
Nah.
You know how to order a 9-ounce glass of Chardonnay.
Yeah,
In Greek.
Butirikasi. Parcalo. Proving all your points. The first thing I learned how to order was food.
Yeah. Like, do I know you or do I know you? Okay. Well, shout out to you and Scar for the
Thank
great
you.
episode today. Show me Scar. Show me my boy.
No, he just left because he's like,
Has
that's
he
not my
heard?
name. He's cleaning
Like
himself
Scar.
over there. Do you have any final thoughts?
I just had one that I lost. Hold on. I don't come back. I swear. Hold on. Oh, the Raven Simone. My final thought is to your point on the expansion draft. They kind of emulated a little bit what the Valkyrie were able to do. Golden State Valkyrie, they kind of had a similar thing. They kind of grabbed a lot of people from overseas, people with some experience, and then they decided where and when that fit in if they needed it. And I would say they got sexier pieces in the expansion draft in terms of like Kate Martin specifically was like already a crowd pleaser, but I think with the way the boroughs in Toronto operate, that Marina Maybre is going to be claimed by multiple ends.
Okay, where do you think she's gonna live? Like not
she'll live in Toronto. Well, she'll live in Toronto,
obviously, but like where?
But what kind of energy does she give off?
Yeah,
she gives off Scarborough energy.
Scarborough.
She gives off Scarborough energy.
She does
for sure.
She does.
She gives off. I had my hair half braided in cornrows, but left the rest out, similar to myself in high school. And energy and like
I can see that.
Tim's
She's
with
from the
Tim's
ends.
with her uniform skirt.
I see that. I see that.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. But today was a good epi. Loved it for us.
It was great. Love it. All right.
Like, subscribe, follow.